Our African lady was able to prepare a special meal for our mother-in-law. Hello everyone, welcome back to another segment. In today's episode, let's talk about a African lady who got married to a Chinese husband based in China. You see, for the time being, we have an African lady over there in China, and she has been, with a mother-in-law. So many persons, came to talk about she living with her mother-in-law or living in the family house while they were together or haven't been married, that the husband should have, gotten a house for her, gotten a home separately where both of them should live. Well, I think based on the observation, I think basically the family in which she's gotten married to, not that the husband, have a lot of property out there. But as you can see, we have here a Chinese grandmama and Chinese grandpapa, and if there's any member of the family, they are actually not staying with them. So it's just the grandparents, it's just a Chinese grandmama and also a Chinese grandpapa staying there in the house. So I think the idea of them moving or shifting to another house, I think will not count for now, because at this particular stage, this is where a Chinese grandpapa actually needs them the most, or needs his son the most, and also a Chinese grandmama also needs her the most. And if per se they are actually peaceful, or they are should I say, yes, a peaceful grandparents, that gives her less than 90% for them to live there with the family, or for she to live there with her. But having seen for the previous video, for the previous clip, we understood that our Chinese grandmama and also our Chinese grandpapa they are actually, and sincerely, they are peaceful people who welcome her. They welcomed her with an open heart, and they also want to see the best out of the relationship for the son. They want to see their son's happiness. In some other states and culture and tradition, the case is far different. If you would be blessed with a very peaceful grandparent or a very peaceful parent, you should appreciate God for that. Yes, it's a special gift which the Creator has given you. But if you find yourself in a troublesome environment whereby the mom or the should I say, yes, your husband's father or mother is a trouble egg, or even the man itself is a trouble egg, I say, you just need to shift. But I found that the Chinese grandpapa and a Chinese grandmama, they are peaceful beings. They understood life, and mostly a Chinese grandmama, she understood life, and she understood the power of help. She understood the power of sincerity, and she understood the power of love. She actually wants the best for her son. How would you know that? Yes, for her to welcome an African lady, not poisoning the heart of her son towards the wife, trying to make like negative statements or negative things about the wife, but she tries as much as possible to ensure that the relationship is on good ground, and she welcome an African lady, or even teach her deeply those things which she needs to know, and those motherly deep secrets which she needs to know, and that she's actually on the right track. She found herself a good friend, she found herself a good mother, and she found herself someone close to the heart, and that is how it ought to be. Being in a new environment, and you find yourself in a new environment, and you study, not studying for 6 months, not studying for 3 years, or not studying for 1 year. She was able to study them, let's say just for 1 month, and she was able to catch up. Being working, anything our Chinese grandmama is doing, she's always there watching and learning from our Chinese grandmama. Well, that is by the way. In today's package, you can see that our Chinese grandparents are ready to eat the special delicacy which will be prepared by our African lady. Having learned some special delicacy from our Chinese grandmama, now it's time for her to prepare special delicacy for Chinese grandmama and also our Chinese grandpapa, including our Chinese uncle and our Chinese husband. Well, you can see that she's the one in the kitchen. She has taken over the kitchen and she's preparing a special delicacy for the family. Yes, the result, the output of it, it matters a lot. Well, you can see she's doing this in the African terms, in the African culture and tradition. The charcoal is actually one of the best means, for cooking. We have the firewood, we have the should I say yes, the use of charcoal, kerosene, and even electricity or even gas. There are different means in which one can cook, but she prefers this means to turn tuwo. In the African culture, this is called tuwo or telegi. Well, if you are in have visited most African people, you find out that this is one of their special delicacy, and the Africa actually they honored and respect the special meal. This is an African lady preparing special delicacy for Chinese grandmama. Yes, the whole family are ready and prepared to eat from this special meal which African lady is doing. You can see she turn it in an African style, bringing African culture down to the land of Chinese environment. It's a great thing and it's something to experience. I so much also appreciate the fact that our Chinese grandmama allow her to do it in her whole way. Well, you can see her dishing out, having prepared it and turned it and very smooth. This is how one of the special delicacy which most Africans welcome and appreciate. Well, you can see that after preparing all the special delicacy, she have to serve it in the Chinese world and in the Chinese culture. The whole family is ready for consumption. She's here telling them not to. We are not using spoon this time around. We are going to make use of our hand. You have to wash your hand and do it in an African style. Well, seeing that our Chinese uncle who has been the first person to do that, the washing of the hand and also the cutting of the food and merging and rolling it in a very grand style. Well, this is so interesting. See how it's been done, and she also taught them, and it's quite interesting that our Chinese grandmama and also our Chinese grandpapa and even our Chinese uncle and every members of the family participated in the eating of the special delicacy which our African lady has prepared. Well, this is bringing African culture and tradition into the Chinese environment, and for them to have accepted her to be their wife, actually they have to eat and appreciate what she gives them, and that is the beauty of love. It's quite so interesting, it's quite so loving. Wow. All right, we have here some little question chirping in. Someone like, should I see the comment or question? Someone is like, when will our Chinese grandmama do our hair? Angelina, please dye her Chinese grandmama hair. I think she will do that accordingly. Alright, this is will be wrapping up today's episode. I hope you're lighting on today's package. Please do stay tuned and stay blessed. And always remember, lovelies. Stay cool for now. Bye for now.